When it comes to e-commerce navigation, there are three basic ways that users navigate a website. And it's going to be those three navigation options we're going to discuss in this video today. I'm going to break down each one so you've got a decent understanding of how it affects desktop and mobile, and we'll go from there. Now, as I share this first one, this is going to seem super basic, but I promise stay with me for the video. It will make a lot of sense. So the first one is when people land on a website, they have a rough understanding of what they're after. They're not going to scroll down the page. They're going to go straight for the main menu, and they're going to use the menu system to navigate to where they want. Now, that might seem obvious, but not everyone thinks like this, so kind of bear with me. As you'll see, the reason I kind of chose the spoke one is I think A has a really visual, nice feel. You can interact with it. The images change. It's very clear how I work through this. It's a really nice option for something a little bit different. You can kind of navigate around this. So although, not all menus are built the same, right? So you can have your very traditional just drop down standard options you can have on there with a big list. You can have them where you might have smaller options with super menus like this one, where we have more imagery and offers that are getting pulled in. Or you've got other options here. So these are definitely one thing to take into account. That is your navigation option easy to navigate? Are we considering those? Are we breaking them down? And another nice way of looking at this with spoke is if I hit on trousers, they're trying to think of a point of view of how is the user going to think about this. So do you want something that's fairly smart casual, or do you want something more smart, or do you want more casual with us? That's how people think, right? So whereas if it just said these are a chino, these are this, these are the cords, I don't actually think that's particularly beneficial. So at this present moment in time, these are a really nice way of doing it. Now, as we get further in, I would say there's an argument here of knowing what heroes to nomads to bulletproofs are isn't particularly clear, but there's probably a way that can be improved. And I guess at least they're referencing this here, coated with water pellet proof over here. So a really nice way of trying to consider how will the user be thinking about this when they come on to buy. Another really lovely thing that I love around spoke, and this is like another way that the user might navigate on your website, is if they're unsure exactly how these trousers are going to fit or what's going to happen, they take you through this discovery. So you can kind of say, okay, well, I'm a 32. It runs you through them. Do you ever size up or size down? No. I'm just going to answer these randomly. Let's go with this one. It's just a really nice way of doing it. So hopefully I'm just kind of hitting all of these. I'm not really thinking about them. Let's go with all of this. Oh, let's pretend I'm 6'2". I am not 6'2". I have a longer torso, let's say that. So it's really nice that they're going into this level of detail. It's then hitting all my information and it's pulling out the options that are going to work for me. So if I then click on tops, it's referencing the exact tops that are really beneficial to me. Now, if you have the ability to help the user in that way, it's just a great way to get them to cut down on what their options are. And it now knows in theory exactly what I like. So it's, it knows, hey, these are the chests, these are the sizes you've referenced, this is what you want. These will be perfect for you. It's an awesome way just to break down and simplify the options to the user. And the more we can simplify them down and say, hey, this is what you kind of want, this is where you are, that's going to just massively increase conversion rate on your Shopify store. Okay, so we've had point one. We've technically had 2 points already. So actually, I guess this video is going to become 4 now. But the next one that I want to run through is, I guess, a little bit more for mobile users, but it still happens on desktop as well. And this one is people land on the page, whatever page they land on, and they just immediately scroll down and they interact with the site based on what they can see. So if you have an option for them to get to individual areas around knitted out, or your individual styles that the user can then swipe through, or you've got something down here with custom fit, hey, you'll find your fit. This is how mobile users generally will find their way around the site. They will go to the mobile menu as well, but we're covering for the different ways that users work. And we've already covered the overall kind of top menu, the very obvious one. So next is these areas coming down. Now, one thing to highlight is this is easy for me to make a reference to on a homepage, right? A homepage is very obviously built and designed in a way where we're going to push the user and spider them out around the site for different options. But actually, I might land in straight on an individual product, or I might end up on a category page. So if I do that, where should I go? Now, a product page is, again, probably up for discussion, that the main point of landing on an individual product page is for them to buy as quickly as we possibly can. But if they look at those pair of trousers that they quite like but aren't 100% sold, are we giving them an easy way for them to navigate to something else? Now, there's a cross between making it too easy and pushing them away from the sale, and if they're not quite ready for it, giving them some alternatives. So this is why you generally see a lot on e-commerce stores. It's kind of like similar items, or people also bought these. It's a way of keeping them on the site and pushing them around. It's a really, really important way of keeping people there and then therefore increasing conversion rate. Now, the next way that people navigate the site, and I think this is hugely underutilized in a lot of Shopify e-commerce stores, but it's using a proper search facility that's really tailored and has original, kind of ways of navigating the site. Now, Shopify already has a fairly basic search system built into it, and that is fine if you're running a very, very small number of products. But as soon as you get to a larger amount, we want to make that information far more discoverable, and using a more paid-for system is going to be really good. Now, before we go into this in too much detail, I don't get paid as there's no association link, that I'm not going to get any additional kind of links for this. But Boost is one in particular, especially for Shopify builds, that I absolutely love and works really, really well. So I've just referenced the website on here as well. But I guess you can see all this in here, but I'm going to load up the demo in a second and just show you how easy it is to work with. So one of the things that I really like is you've got this search facility in the top right corner here. Now, straight away, as soon as I click into it, it's just going to show me any trending products in case, hey, straight away, we might already have an idea of what you like. It might pull through some popular searches, and you'll see in preparation for this video, I've just been practicing some tests in here, so you'll see what I've already put in. But you'll see here, if I start to type in black, because I want some black clothes or some black shoes, it's automatically guessing what those might be. It's giving me some options from a page styling point of view. I can see all the products that fit within that, and it's giving me different options. Obviously, most people don't necessarily type in just the color. I'm using it as an example. But this is one thing that I think gets massively overlooked when it comes to these search systems, is we're almost presuming that most people know what they're going to type in, and they're going to type in something fairly detailed. Some people might not. Some people might just type in stripy because they want something stripy. And then therefore we need to give them some options that fall within that. So this is a really nice thing to do. The other really nice thing with Boost is that Boost will record every single search system that's put in there, and it will show you the results of what show for it. So if you want to increase the conversion rates and you want to push particular products because you know that's what people want, you can make sure you can look at what people are offering and then make it really clear that actually these are the things that we should be pushing the user to. So you can teach this Boost system over time of what's going to be really, really beneficial. So it's a really, really nice touch for it. The other thing that's really good is if I type purposely something in wrong, it's saying, did I mean this? And it's then showing me the search results for that particular one. So it's a really, really nice way of doing it. The last one I kind of want to make a reference to is it does, and don't laugh in case I get this term wrong, but it's cinnamons. And the idea of a cinnamon, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, is if I, for example, was selling bath toys and someone typed in bath toy, I would clearly get some bath toys. But if someone was to type in rubber duck, the other thing to consider is actually that person probably wants to see lots of different bath toys. So let's show them some rubber ducks if we've got them, but let's also show them other bath toys because the two sort of link together. So that's a really good thing with these sort of search systems, is you can start to learn the type of things that your users type in, and that becomes super, super beneficial. A quick example of this in the wild, I guess. So Chippendale is a website that we've done. And what we found when the site first went live is that obviously they sell these very large, expensive excavators on their system. But as we started to look through the search results, because this website is using Boost, one of the things that we found is that lots of people type in digger. And the word digger isn't used on any of these individual product pages because it's not relevant, as in it is relevant, as in that's what I guess certain people are calling it, but it's called an excavator. That's what its terminology is. So what we then had to build into the search system using its kind of fancy tools that it has is if anyone types in digger, they're actually after an excavator. There's a really nice, easy way of looking at what people are typing in and going, actually they mean this. Whereas beforehand, when you typed in digger, the only way this would come up is if the word digger was featured on that product page, which wasn't really very likely. So it's a nice way, a nice little example to kind of show you how that can be done. Okay, so we were supposed to be doing 3 different ways that people navigate, and we've ended up with 4. But just to run through all those all again. First off, Most obvious one, the main menu, right? Make sure that menu system is really, really well considered. It's not just a case of putting the options in the top of the page and then doing it. How is the user considering looking around? If we remember that trousers one that we showed you at the start of the video, they were like, hey, do you want smart? Do you want casual? Do you want smart casual? That's how people think, and that's how the menu should be laid out, rather than just here's some brands that we have. So main menu really needs to be well considered. The second one that we then have is people will ignore that main menu and they'll scroll down and they'll focus and look around and navigate the site based on the options that are giving to them. So are we allowing that user to find their way around the site? Yes, the homepage is going to be key, but are we considering those category pages, the individual product pages, how people are getting around those and buying more and adding more to their overall basket, with the hope, of course, of increasing the average order value? So that's the next one. The third one is what we use for spoke, which is like if you have a fairly complex offering, or you have a few different ways that people might be able to buy from you, or you have some options that are a little bit hard to differentiate, why don't we have a wizard or a system that the user can be taken through so it outputs to the end to say, hey, this is the thing that you really want. This is what you should be buying. And then the last one is the search facility, and it's taking that to the nth level. It's taking it forwards and coming up with a way where that search facility can really, really highlight the different options the user might find beneficial, get them to the product they want quicker, and therefore buy. So I hope you guys found that useful. YouTube is highlighting that there might be this video over here that you might find really beneficial. If you've got any other websites you want me to do a review of, or any pieces of Shopify e-commerce plugins or softwares that you've seen, please let me know those as well. And if not, have a great day.